Welcome everyone, join us today as we step into the captivating world of John Lawton, the remarkable voice behind the legendary rock band Uriah Heep. So let's dive in. John Cooper Lawton, born the 11th of July 1946, in Halifax, England. Lawton's musical journey began in his childhood home, where the sounds of music filled the air, thanks to his parents' passion for various genres. From the soulful sounds of jazz to the rhythmic beats of the Hammond organ, Lawton's early years were steeped in musical inspiration. Mahalia Jackson's presence on British television left an indelible mark on Lawton during his formative years. Her powerful performances, transmitted through the flickering black and white screens of the era, resonated deeply with Lawton and served as a profound influence on his own vocal journey. Lawton's musical journey took flight in the early 1960s amidst the vibrant scene of North Shields, England. Initially finding his voice with the Deans, a group of young musicians who serendipitously appointed him as their lead singer, Lawton quickly made his mark. Transitioning through bands like West One and Stonewall, where he collaborated with talents like John Miles, Vic Malcolm, and Paul Thompson. Amidst the breakup of Stonewall during a tour in West Germany in 1969, Lawton made a pivotal decision to remain in Germany. It was there that he crossed paths with fellow musicians Peter Hesselin, Dieter Horns, Peter Hecht, and Joachim Rietenbach, who were part of a band called the German Bonds. Joining forces, the quintet embarked on the formation of Asterix in 1970, renaming themselves Lucifer's Friend not long after. Lucifer's Friend embarked on a musical odyssey characterized by ever-evolving styles and influences with each album release. Lawton would also lend his vocal talents to the Les Humphreys Singers during the early 1970s, later including a notable performance at the Eurovision Song Contest. Lucifer's Friend's self-titled debut in 1970, marked by dark lyrics and a raw guitar organ blend, drew comparisons to the likes of Deep Purple, Uriah Heep, Led Zeppelin, and Black Sabbath. This seminal work remains a coveted gem among aficionados of early heavy metal music. However, despite the cult following and airplay in select markets, the band struggled to achieve commercial success, particularly in the United States where their albums were released on smaller independent labels. It wasn't until their signing with Elektra Records in 1977 that they pursued a more commercially oriented pop sound across 3 albums, albeit with diminishing returns as interest in the band waned. Marked by constant reinvention and experimentation with each album, their second album release, Where the Groupies Killed the Blues in 1972, delved into the realms of progressive and psychedelic rock, showcasing the visionary compositions of John O'Brien Docker. Following this bold departure, their third album, I'm Just a Rock and Roll Singer in 1973, saw a shift towards straightforward rock, echoing the style of bands like Grand Funk Railroad, coupled with gritty themes of life on the road. With Banquet in 1974, the band ventured into extended, multi-layered jazz fusion compositions, backed by a 30-piece ensemble, while also offering shorter tracks reminiscent of Chicago and Traffic. These early albums, including the self-titled Asterix album, remain highly coveted among collectors as concept-driven masterpieces. Mind Exploding in 1976 attempted to blend the jazz influences of Banquet with the garage rock vibes of Rock and Roll Singer, yet failed to capture the acclaim of its predecessors. Amidst this transition, Lawton departed from the band in 1976 to join Uriah Heep, paving the way for Mike Starrs to step into the fold. Uriah Heep's search for a new vocalist led them to audition David Coverdale, Ian Hunter, and Gary Holton before selecting Lawton. With Lawton on board, the band shifted away from fantasy-themed lyrics and complex compositions, embracing a more straightforward hard rock sound. Though Lawton's image didn't align perfectly with their vision, his powerful voice added a new dimension to their music. In February 1977, Uriah Heep released the album Firefly, marking a fresh start for the band with newfound energy and confidence. Despite Lawton not possessing the multi-octave range of his predecessor David Byron, his emotionally rich hard rock voice seamlessly integrated with Uriah Heep's sound. The band embarked on a US tour supporting Kiss, earning praise from Paul Stanley for their professionalism and consistency, with even their worst performances being impressive. Uriah Heep released Innocent Victim in November 1977, described as having a slight edge over Firefly. The album featured a blend of sharp rockers and pop-friendly ballads, aimed at capturing the American AOR market. The single Free Me became an international hit, drawing comparisons to the Eagles for its acoustic style and harmonies. In Germany, the album sold over 1 million copies, making it Uriah Heep's most successful release, coinciding with the resurgence of Lady in Black. At one point, 3 Uriah Heep singles sat together in the German top 20, Wise Man, Lady in Black, and Free Me. In late 1978, Uriah Heep released Fallen Angel, marking the completion of a trio of studio albums with a consistent lineup. While well received, the album failed to chart. Behind the scenes, tensions brewed, particularly concerning Ken Hensley's dominance in songwriting and earnings. Mick Box voiced dissatisfaction, suggesting that Hensley's insistence on using all his compositions led to subpar albums. However, the primary conflict arose between Hensley and Lawton. Their constant friction, culminating in a near-violent altercation, combined with Lawton's wife's omnipresence on tour, led to Lawton's dismissal. Biographers speculate that Lawton's marital dynamic contributed to his departure, as his wife's constant involvement in band affairs created tension. Lawton, devoted to his spouse, opted for a quieter lifestyle, leaving the band shortly after playing the Bilzen Festival in Belgium in August 1979. Throughout his extensive career, Lawton collaborated with prominent figures in the rock music scene on diverse projects. Notable among these was his involvement in Roger Glover's Butterfly Ball live performance at the Royal Albert Hall in 1975, sharing the stage with luminaries like David Coverdale, Glenn Hughes, Ian Gillan, and Twiggy. Additionally, Lawton lent his vocals to Eddie Harden's Wizards Convention 2, alongside Chris Farlowe, Denny Laine, Paul Jones, and Tony Ashton, showcasing his versatility and range as a vocalist within the rock genre. Lawton's career extended beyond his work with renowned bands and producers. He collaborated with esteemed record producers like Tony Clark, Moody Blues, Jimmy Miller, Rolling Stones, and Harold Faltermeyer, Pet Shop Boys, contributing his vocals to the Lenny McDowell Project's Lost Paradise. His journey continued with German rock band Rebel, later known as Czar, where he lent his vocals to 3 albums in the late 80s and 90s, including hit singles like Line of Fire and Eagle's Flight. Lawton also ventured into Volker Barber's classical project, Excalibur, and showcased his vocal prowess on various German commercials, such as Colgate Gel and Peter Stuyvesant Travel. In 1994, Lawton formed Gun Hill, later rebranded as JLB, the John Lawton Band, embarking on tours across the UK and Europe. His versatility as a vocalist was further highlighted in 1995 when he briefly reunited with Uriah Heep for a 2-week tour of South Africa and Austria alongside Deep Purple, stepping in for singer Bernie Shaw, who was facing voice issues at the time. In January 1998, Lawton, inspired by German top producer Robert Pabst and Reinhold Hoffmann, re-recorded the Les Humphries singer's hit Mama Lou. This endeavor led to his solo album Still Paying My Dues to the Blues, produced by Pabst, which was released in August 2000 across Europe, the UK, and Scandinavia by Hypertension Music Hamburg and distributed through Edel Germany. The album, initially released in 2000, was re-released in 2010. A significant reunion occurred during the 4th Uriah Heep annual convention in London in May 2000 when plans were made for a one-off concert by the Hensley-Lawton Band. Joining Lawton and former Heep keyboardist Ken Hensley for the first time in 21 years since Lawton's departure from Uriah Heep in 1979 were original bassist Paul Newton, along with Reuben Kane on lead guitar and Justin Shepard on drums from Lawton's band. Together, they performed a collection of classic Heep songs and solo tracks from Hensley and Lawton, capturing the memorable event on CD titled The Return. In 2001, Lawton joined forces with Ken Hensley to establish the Hensley-Lawton Band. Following an extensive tour across Europe during the spring and summer of 2001, highlighted by a remarkable concert on the 12th of May in Hamburg, Germany, featuring a full orchestra and a new rendition of Heep's classic Salisbury, both musicians returned to their individual solo endeavors. However, on the 7th of December 2001, both Lawton and Hensley made a special appearance on stage with Uriah Heep during the annual Magician's Birthday Party at the Shepherd's Bush Empire in London. This remarkable event was captured and released as a CD, DVD, immortalizing their reunion with the iconic rock band. The John Lawton Band, known as JLB, was signed by Classic Rock Productions later in 2001 to record the acoustic CD Stepping It Up, featuring Lawton and Steve Dunning. Following this, in 2002, One More Night Live at the Mean Fiddler, both as a CD and DVD, was recorded, capturing the band's electrifying performances. The momentum continued with JLB's studio rock album Sting in the Tail, released in 2003, showcasing Lawton's original compositions. Later that year, another live CD and DVD titled Shaking the Tail was released, further solidifying JLB's reputation as a dynamic live act. However, after extensive touring, including their last gig in Hamburg in September 2004, Lawton decided to take an indefinite break from music. In May 2006, Lawton embarked on a new musical journey, teaming up with Dutch guitarist Jan Dummy to form the On the Rocks project, also known as OTR. This collaborative effort featured Brazilian musicians Ney Conceição on bass, Xande Figueiredo on drums, and Marvio Ciribelli on keyboards. Together, they wrote and recorded tracks for their debut album Mamonama, which was released in October 2008, showcasing Lawton's continued evolution as a versatile and dynamic artist. Personally, at the end of the 1970s, John Lawton married Iris Mellis, who hailed from a German background, marking the occasion on his 31st birthday. Until his passing, Lawton shared his life with Iris, building a family together, raising 2 children within the bond of their marriage. Sadly, in a sudden and tragic turn of events, John Lawton passed away from an aneurysm on June 29, 2021, at the age of 74. His cremated ashes were laid to rest on Kamen Brajag, Bulgaria, on March 19, 2022. A fitting tribute to his legacy, a monument dedicated to the musician was unveiled in the Ogancheto area of Kamen Brajag on July 1, 2022. Known for his iconic rendition of July Morning, Lawton's memory lives on through his music and the impact he made on the hearts of many. He is survived by his wife Iris and their children. And there you have it. As we conclude our journey through the life and legacy of John Lawton, we honor his contributions to music and celebrate the impact he made on countless fans around the globe. Thank you for watching, like and subscribe for more music icons just like this. Take care and bye for now.